everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your Midsummer Madness edition. I have a glass of wine. Ooh, I know. I got this wine from the Valley. Okay, so in interior BC. That's right, where all the best vineyards are. I got it from a very nice lady named Caitlin, who sat us down and told us her entire life story. Caitlin was cool as fuck. Caitlin was also singing really loudly. Shout out Caitlin. She had a very bad voice, but she was like, I've been told by a professional jazz singer that I have a great voice. And I was like, I have no idea what this has to do with Chardonnay, but I love it. And tell me more. So we're having some wine. We're doing some summer catch ups. Before I get into any of the rants that I've been thinking of for this week, I do want to give a very special shout out. Today is Saturday, July 26th, and we are recording on the very special birthday of a very special podcast listener.
Friend of the pod.
We love her so much. She is a fantastic podcast fan, and we really appreciate her. So we're going to give a big shout out to Riley. Happy birthday, Riley. We love you so much. Thank you for listening. I hope you hear this, and I hope it makes you smile. Riley's the best. If you don't know Riley, I feel sorry for you. And if you do know Riley, fucking cheers, baby. Cheers. It's her birthday. Let's fucking go. Yeah, so that's what's going on. And oh my God, something so special happened today too. Today is such a great day. Not only is it Miss Riley's birthday, longtime friend and fan of the pod, but it is also the birthday of my friend Kate's
that's crazy.
Little baby. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't even think of that.
My very good friend Kate, who's in Toronto, had a baby today. Which is so crazy. Oh my God.
Do we have a name?
No, we don't have a name yet. But we know that mom and baby are healthy, and we love to hear it, and that's so exciting.
Do we have a gender?
Yeah, boy.
Name it Riley.
You were going to say that regardless?
It works both ways.
You were going to say that regardless? I love it. But yeah, very, very exciting news. Very exciting things happening on the podcast today. You know what's cool? I feel like there's something really special about the day that like an important baby is born. I don't always feel excited about because there's a lot of emotions that go into when your friends get pregnant, right? Like you can feel happy, sad, you can mourn something, right? I've had all the spectrum of emotions, I think, when friends get pregnant, but there's something so special about like when you can feel the joy of when the baby is born, you know? It's like, holy shit, like there's going to be this new person in the world. And that's kind of crazy. And I know the world is a nightmare sometimes, but there's also a lot of cool shit. And you know what is reminding me that there's a lot of cool shit and that having families is really beautiful is the show Bluey. And if you guys haven't checked out the show Bluey, I think you should. It's a show for kids. Okay. It's a kids show, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. It's healing. It shows like family dynamics, what they could be, you know, in the funnest ways, in the coolest and funnest of ways. So
yeah, two parents who don't work at all.
This is crazy though. Now I'm thinking about the amount of Leos I know. These late July Leos. I know so many late July Leos. We have your brother, my dad, Riley, Kate's sweet new baby.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nuts? There's more. My grandma was a late July. R.I.P. My grandma Marion. My grandma Marion was a bad bitch. You ever have a grandma who's a bad bitch? I'm so lucky. She was crazy. She smoked every single day for like 75 years. And then one day she was like, nope.
Quit?
I'm done. Yeah. Just fucking cold turkey quit.
Oh.
Yeah. Just stopped it. I was like, okay. The big story about her and my family is that one time my grandma had 4 boys. My dad's the oldest, and he acts like it. He's gonna kill me for saying that, but it's true. So my grandma had 4 boys, and her big claim to fame was one time she got so mad at them that she took a wooden spoon and she smacked it on the counter, and it broke in half. And then the one top end of the spoon apparently went like flying over everyone's head. I just picture like a big like cartoon spoon just like flying over, and then everyone was like, "Holy shit! Don't fuck with mom." Which I thought was pretty sick, you know? like a badass bitch. My grandma was a badass bitch. And my grandpa, his favorite saying was, whatever, dear.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want, whatever. Because he had to be. She was such a hard bitch. He was like, okay, sure. I don't know. Who cares? I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get into some things I've been thinking about lately. I've been thinking about a couple of things. Firstly, Aaron and I a couple weeks ago went on a little kind of mini wine tour for our anniversary. We did a couple things. We went tarps off in the sauna. You guys ever done that? You guys ever gone fucking naked in a sauna? There was European hour. For 1 hour of the day, you could go naked. And I was like, I want to do that. And I just wanted to experience what it was like to be a nudist, because when else can you experience that? Like, you're not obviously not going to go live in one of those like nudist colony trailer parks, you know,
Europe.
Or Europe. Yeah. Huh. Who's the money, you know, with the euro these days? This is what you talk about in your 30s. Laundry and what's the euro at these days? It's topical. We're going to Sardinia next week, me and Aaron and one of my best friends, Sarah. We're going to Sardinia and I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun. It's a besties trip and it's going to be fucking killer. So yeah, anyway, we are doing that. What was I saying?
Euro hour.
Euro hour. Okay. So there is this thing at the sauna called Euro hour where you can,
for 1 hour.
For 1 hour, you can go
right before it closed. Right before they wipe down the loads.
Or before they wipe down the fucking whole thing in the sauna, you can go naked. You can just go naked for 1 hour. And I was like, I want to go naked for 1 hour. I was the only woman. Okay. And when you go naked and you're
the only naked woman.
Wait, sorry. Yes. I was only a naked woman.
There was 2 jealous women.
They're not jealous. The thing that
they were watching their men real close.
I know. But the thing that happens is when you're the only one that chooses to go naked, you instantly become the freak.
Yeah.
And everyone else around you is like, well, they're the freak. But weirdly, because I don't know if it's because we're Canadian and polite, or I don't know if it's because they know that like the rules are that you're allowed to go naked for this last hour in these saunas, you also become like the sauna expert. Like people want to come in and be cool with it because they're like, yeah, that's the rules. It's European hour, so it's fine. It's got to be, that's just what it is. They're just naked here. We just got to be okay with it. But you can see people so visibly uncomfortable with your naked body. And then you have to kind of like, you can't be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so naked. Like, otherwise just put your bathing suit on. You kind of have to just be like labia out, tits out, whatever. You know, you kind of have to be someone who's just so cool with it that everyone else, if they want to make it weird, they're making it weird on their own. And people will make it weird. Because we would be in different saunas and people would already have been in the sauna. They've already been in there, but they haven't been in there forever. Like they just got in there. Or they'd come in after us, sit down, take a look around, see my tits and badge, and immediately be like, okay, how long can we stay in here before it's weird and then we just have to leave? Like you would see them counting the time where they were like, yeah, we'll have a nice sauna in here with the weird naked lady. That's not weird. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. And then they would just chill out for a little bit and then they would just fucking bounce out and leave. But they wouldn't leave right away because that's too obvious and that's rude. But they would not stay for like the full session of sauna. They would do like 3-4 minutes and they'd be like, I think I want to try something else. And honestly, I just wanted to like follow those people around.
I want to try North American sauna.
Yeah. I want to try
European shit.
Yeah,
nice.
Exactly. This European shit's fucked up.
Maybe I was creeping them out.
With your wiener?
My wiener out.
Why would you creep them out?
Because I was yelling at them to stare at my wiener.
Yeah.
Look at it.
You would never.
No,
You were like, stop looking at my wife's tits.
It's hard to be natural.
It is hard to be natural. You want to be cool with it. You know, you want to be one of those people that's like, I sauna all the time. I get it. Like, whatever.
I've been to Europe.
Yeah. You want to be chill, but then you're not chill. But then also, okay.
No one else is chill and nothing's chill.
I know. But I went to the beach the other day and there was this like European family and there was this daughter on the beach who like, I don't know. She seemed a little off. Something was wrong maybe.
What'd she do?
Maybe a learning disability, maybe something more. Not sure. But she was on the beach and she was chilling out with her friend. She screamed when she saw this bug. But I was like, whatever. She was like 14. Anyway, her dad comes over, her mom and her dad. And her mom is like a good looking hippie lady, long hair, looks kind of European. And then the dad is like huge distended stomach, like one of those guys that has so much gas inside of him that it will never come out. You know, it is like a permanently inflated balloon. And he has the tiniest little Speedo on. So I'm like, European. Like, it's got to be European. There's no other option here, right? So he comes over, and first of all, him and the wife are kissing, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, they love each other. And then he's lying on the ground, and then his daughter, very obviously his like 13-year-old daughter, is like basically making out with his leg. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? She's up and down. She's petting his hair, kissing all over his face. And no one's concerned about this. And me and my friend were just like, okay, I guess they're European. But what's the crossover?
Yeah.
From European to creepy. Because I was like, this is weird. This kid is too affectionate with this man. And this man is just sitting here too. He's just like, whatever. And she's like making out with his calves and kissing his face. And I'm like, your daughter is too old for this type of affection.
What was she doing to mom? Nothing?
Nothing. And mom was fucking not bothered at all. And at one point, dad got up, mom and dad made out, and he sat back down and continued making out with the daughter. I was like, what's happening right now? It was a lot. It was a lot to see, but no one was disturbed. If you create that much of a sense of normalcy, then everyone else on the beach just has to be okay with it too.
I guess how they do it.
We couldn't fucking say anything. What do you say?
You don't want to offend their culture.
Well, exactly. But the culture at that point was pedophilia. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. The thing is, it wasn't though. It wasn't though. I say that, but it wasn't, because it was all the energy was coming from the daughter to the dad. The dad was just stone cold, like sitting there taking it, you know? He wasn't really like participating in it at all. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand. There's so many human dynamics I realize as I get older that I don't understand. When I was younger, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense because that works with that. Now I see certain things and I'm like, I guess those people are from Greece. I don't know.
They're Grecian.
Doesn't make sense to me at all. You know what else I was thinking of? I think that our generation, why we have so many bisexual people and why people are so into fingering is because we all used to play Guitar Hero. Like, come on. We were getting finger dexterity in our pinkies. You remember having to play the blue chord, the blue, and then sometimes reach for the orange. That was really hard. You had to do blue, orange all over here. You were getting the finger dexterity you didn't even know you needed.
And strength.
And now we're like, I could fucking finger anyone. Who cares?
You should make Finger Hero.
Finger Hero. Where you have to finger blast someone?
Yeah.
Make them come? That'd be so good.
I'd get some trained up.
Honestly, I would sign up most people for that service.
The clit button is like so hard to find and way off to the side.
It's not that hard to find. The thing I don't understand is that it's really truly not that hard to find.
It's hard to play it right.
Yeah, it's hard to play it right.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah.
It's finicky. It's finicky. We can agree that it's finicky. It's not hard to find.
They're all different. Sometimes it's like hard to find. Yeah, it's always hard to find the right way.
Yeah, I guess. But also, men hate to listen to us. Like, we'll tell you. You just don't fucking listen. We'll be like, hey, do this softer. And then you guys will be like,
harder?
Got it.
That's true.
I get it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Did you have trouble?
With clit play?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to believe that I was like amazing at eating pussy and just doing all the things that I wanted to do, but I don't know that I was.
I swear every woman is like, this is how I do it.
What do you mean?
Like when you're trying to figure out a new
vagina?
Yeah, and then you know, like do I don't know, to your best of your ability, and then they'll always give you tips, and you try to listen, but it's always like exactly how they do it.
What do you mean?
It's like how they would do themselves, because maybe that feels best for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what feels best for them.
But it's like, I'm open to new styles.
You should be open to new styles. The thing with men is that they're not very experimental in a way that like takes the information that they know and then incorporates it and learns from it. Men are very like hurt about sex all the time, it seems.
Hurt?
Yeah. They're either doing it right and then they go, yeah, I got it right. And they're very like praise oriented creatures. So if you do something right, then they're like, yay, I did it right. And then if they do something wrong, they'll like take it out on you, or they won't learn from it. They don't get like curious about ways to be better. Like the one thing I do find about women that's nice is that if you tell them something and you want something to be done differently, they'll take that in and like really try to think about how you're feeling, and like they're considering all options and all angles and like moving forward with that information.
That's why women should not fake it for men.
Yeah,
No woman should fake it for men.
I disagree. I 100% disagree.
It's not going to get them better in any way, shape, or form.
I disagree only because
You have to save them their ego.
Only because no. What you're saying sounds all well and good, that no woman should fake it for a man. I agree with the basic fundamental principle. Fucking totally agree. However, if you have ever been on a date, some sort of like one night stand or some situation where you just want it to be over, there are men who will not give up until they have accomplished something. And I'm putting accomplished something in quotations. And those men are exhausting. And sometimes you just need to fake it for it to be over.
Sounds nice.
What?
Like a nice time.
For someone to fake it for it to be over?
No, the sex that you're having.
It's awful. But if you're never going to see that man again and you just want it to be done because you just don't want to have that kind of conversation, you don't want to get into a fight, you don't know this person, you don't trust this person, you don't trust that this person is not going to get mad and freak out at you, like it's okay. What I think we need to do is we need to spread more awareness to men that if you think you've been so successful at making a girl orgasm, you do not get to count any of your first date sex experiences or your first sex experiences. Because first of all, the chance that you're making somebody orgasm on your first sexual experience, very low, I feel. And if you are, and if you've cared to figure out how to get it right, okay, great, good for you. You're probably going to sleep with them again. And then you can actually have that conversation with that person. But these men that are out here only having sex with women one time, I'll say this to every camera I can find. There's no men listening to this podcast, but I don't care. You're doing a bad job. You're doing a bad job. She faked it. She faked it. If you don't think she faked it, she did. She faked it. Sorry, but she faked it. And if there are women out there that feel very comfortable not faking it and just being like, no, I'm not going to fucking do it. Power to you, baby. Do it. I think you should. I am not by any means advocating for more women to fake it. I'm just saying that if you have, or if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not your job to teach these men. If these men are out here pouting and needing to fucking, I need to feel like I did this, and you just need to fake it for it to be over, it's okay. You don't have to feel ashamed. But do yourself a favor and never sleep with that man again. If you can tell him later over sex that he didn't make you come, even better. Even better. Stick it to him any way you can, for sure. But if you're on a first fucking time and you're nervous and you just are like, oh yeah, it was great, bye. I get it. We've all been there, you know? We're all recovering people pleasers. Sometimes you just gotta get through the situation. But yes, overall, I agree. And if you're in a relationship with someone, definitely do not fake it. Do not fake it. Let them figure it out. They should love you enough to care to figure it out. And if they don't, bye. See you later.
I never really did the one night stands.
Yes, and now it's all about you.
And I don't think I've had a lot of fakers.
That's every man says that.
I really don't think so.
Literally every man says this.
I really
so much every man says this. Oh my God. If I could give you so many dollars for the amount of times every man thinks this.
I would know.
Every man thinks this. And
I would know.
Every single man thinks this.
I haven't had a lot of one night stands, and yeah.
Do you see how upset he's getting right now?
I'm not upset.
This is it. This is what they do. You guys freaking freak out about it. Honey, you're great and you're wonderful. And I have never faked it with you. I can genuinely say, it sounds like I'm lying.
You did.
But what?
You did.
Oh, I did the first one.
Yeah, the first time.
Oh, that's so true. Actually, yeah, that's true. The first time we had sex, I faked it, and then
hated it.
I immediately told him, because I was like, I think this is the love of my life, and I don't think I can fake it for him.
It's the opposite.
Totally.
What you were just saying.
What do you mean?
You wanted to be over. You're like, let this be over.
No, I didn't. It was actually this situation. This is interesting. Okay. So the first time that we did anything, I was so excited that I wanted it. Like, because I was like, this is someone I'm in love with. I was like, I wanted it to be this amazing experience and I wanted us to have it and share it together. And so, yeah, I did. And then immediately afterwards, I was like, oh my God, like I can't fall into this pattern of faking it with this person. Because as much as I'm like preaching this advice, I'm still a person. Like there's been many times where I've faked it and then been like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Or I've been like, okay, I'm not going to fake it this time. And then I do, or I don't, and it ends different ways. Like, I guess my point is in all of this that whatever you choose to do in a sexual experience to like make it okay for yourself is fine. However, I do think like if it is someone that you're like, I want to have a relationship with this person or I love this person, teaching ourselves how not to fake it is definitely the best. Because after I did that, I went, oh, that was like a pattern. That was something I feel like I should have done. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to start this relationship off with like a lie like that. So I told Aaron and he received it really well and I never faked it again. If it wasn't working for me, I would just say that. And I would feel really nervous to say that, but I would say it and then it was okay. Mm-hmm. And some people probably feel very differently about this. Like I bet there's a lot of women who are like, nope, I never fake it even on a one night stand. I don't care how they feel about it. And that's totally fine. And I love that. That's like the idealistic place to get to. If you can do that, you are a queen. You are fucking killing it. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. You are paving the way and inspiring all of us. But if you can't do that, and there are times where you're just like, oh, I just want to get through this in whatever way makes sense for me, it's fine. It's more, I think, up to men to figure it out if you have like a person that you're sleeping with long term that you want to please.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Kinda. And I mean, after I told you, you received it so well that it made me feel comfortable enough to tell you what I wanted and like make that okay again. Because that's the other thing, right? Is like sometimes you can tell, like I was very nervous when I was like, oh my God, I just faked it. And it was almost like on autopilot that I did that. And when you tell people that, you're very nervous because you're like, how are they going to receive it? Are they going to take it and go, oh, what the fuck? Like, I can't believe that. And then you're going to feel really scared, to ever ask for what you need again. But I was just like, you've handled it so well that I was like, perfect. Okay. That reaffirms that this is a person I can talk to and be comfortable with. Men have to, the one thing I really resent is this idea that women are in any way, like weird or secretive or like not telling you what they're thinking. There's always this like rhetoric around women fighting, being like, I'm fine. No, yeah, I'm totally fine. And I get that we can do that. I get that we can be passive aggressive and we're not perfect. But at the same time, there's a reason we don't tell men how we're feeling. It's because so much of the time they get their feelings hurt about it. So it becomes scary, and maybe not scary, like scary for your life, but it becomes freaky to tell men how you feel because they could take that, internalize it, and then use it to hurt you. Use it to try and hurt your feelings. And that's very uncomfortable. So being like, no, I'm fine, or like, and trying to not say how we're feeling, not express how we're feeling becomes the easier option because then, you're not outwardly saying the problem that you have and you're not outwardly being confrontational. But truly, I do think women should be a lot more confrontational. It's just hard when you're scared about not being safe. And that's just the real.
Write in what your thoughts on faking it are.
Ooh, yeah. I want to know. I do want to know. I want to know. I want my opinion to be changed, formed, new, different. I was talking about this earlier. I feel like when you do something like this, a podcast where it's like only you speaking, crazy idea. You often say things when you're just feeling a certain type of way. Sometimes I do a podcast and I'm like, what did I say? Like I blacked out, And I feel like, Aaron, could you please get me some more wine? Hell yeah. Look at that. That's my fucking man right there. Want to get me more wine? He's shirtless right now. You can't see it. Shirtless. Just get me more wine. But when you have a podcast, I feel like it's very easy to say your opinion at the time. Like I remember a couple weeks ago, I was really annoyed with Pilates because honestly, I wasn't very good at it. And I was just annoyed with all the girls who were really good at it. And it just makes you say whatever you're thinking in that moment. And maybe if you didn't have a podcast with microphones and cameras and recordings, you would just think those things and then not vocalize them, but you really just vocalize a lot of different opinions. You move through a lot of different feelings, you know? And yeah, anyway, all that to say, yes. I just got more wine. No, you have it. You have the rest. Have it.
I have a glass.
Pour it. Pour it.
All that to say.
My opinions are very open to change. And if anybody has any comments and wants to chat with me about how they feel, I would.
We got some comments on the last one.
That's so true. We did have a comment.
Another friend of the pod, Miss E. Thank you for giving us this comment and this feedback. So I feel very good about this. I found out that I am not alone in sticking 2 tampons up myself and then leaving one in for multiple days. That was not just a me experience. Thank God. But Miss E wrote in and said that she did that once. She left a tampon in for a couple of days. It freaked her out. Bit of a hypochondriac. She was like, I do not feel good about this. So in order to make sure she was one day.
Well, she said it might have been a couple.
She said one. She said a couple's
maybe she
crazy.
was trying. Maybe
she said a couple's insane.
Maybe she was trying to make me feel better.
Yeah.
Whatever. Mine was definitely 3 days plus.
Yours was 5.
No.
3 to 5 business days.
Okay. So Miss E told us that every time she takes a tampon out and before she puts a new one in, she does a swirl of her finger to do like a double check and make sure, which I think is very awesome. It kind of reminds me of one of those toilet slides. You know those water slides that you go down and then it's like a toilet and you go spin around, round. That's like your finger just checking for the tampon and then it pops out. Smart. You got to do a sweep. You got to do a general sweep. Make sure there's nothing else in there. Get it fucking gone and you're good to go. So thank you for that comment. Thank you for telling me that I'm not alone. Other people have done this before.
I have another comment.
Oh, another comment. Aaron, what is it?
Joel started some shit.
Okay, so last episode we had my friend Joel on the pod, comedian from Toronto, and Joel apparently is starting shit. Now, we did answer a question, but apparently it has nothing to do with the question. It has to do with a comment Joel made about soap. The title is Joel re-soap. Got it. Okay.
Joel re-soap.
Got it. So Joel said most soaps are made without lye. Wrong. If you make glycerin soap, not natural and liquid soap wouldn't have lye, but that's like pouring soap down the drain and not natural. And lye is a natural occurring ingredient, so good for nice hard bars of soap. Nice hard bars of soap. I noticed you hesitated when he said that hesitated is spelled wrong, by the way. Hesitated is spelled with a Z. I noticed you hesitated when he said that, and your instinct was correct, love. Also, would love to hear your take on AI. I have friends losing their jobs to AI. What's your view? That's great. I love that. Thank you for the write-in. Good to know.
Joel.
Honestly, listen up, Joel. Lye is in soap. And I knew it. I did know it because my family is a soap making business. And if you think that this was written in from a member of my family, come on, you would be correct. It is. And it is true that a lot of lye is needed to make good, hard bars of soap. Sexy, hard bars of soap.
Keep them hard.
Keep them hard. Keep them lye. If they're lying, they're hard. And that's true about men and soap. So good to know.
They're faking it.
They're lying and they're hard. Okay, so lies are important in soap. And then we really jumped quickly to the AI question of whether we're losing our jobs to AI. Yeah, I mean, some jobs, I guess. But if you lose your job to AI, isn't it kind of like, fuck, I need it. Yeah, I need a new job.
Was it ever a job in the first place?
Yeah, you know, if AI can do your job, I think at this point it's kind of like, fuck, okay, like, we could do something else.
Yeah, you could pursue your hobbies.
Totally. Your hobby should be your careers. More people's hobbies should be their careers.
You think that?
Yes.
You think you should enjoy your life?
Yes, because, okay. I know everyone says like, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But there's always going to be things that feel like work. There's always going to be elements of work in whatever you do. Like even doing stand-up comedy, there's some elements of it that still feel like work for sure. But I think if your hobby is something that you do to enjoy yourself and you're able to turn it into a career in a way that makes you not hate it, and that's the key, is in a way that makes you not hate it, then do it. Or there's the other option. I think some people just need to like work at a job to make their money to pursue their hobbies, and they really don't want to turn those into jobs. However, sometimes I think people are doing that because they're afraid of taking the risk. Like they're afraid of, risking more to make their hobby like a more full-time like job or career, to be something they can make money at. I think they feel like they're going to lose their love for it if they try to make money at it. And I don't think that's necessarily true. It could be true. It could be true that you just want to do a job and have other things after the job that you love, and that's totally fine. But I think also if the hobby feels like it's consuming you, like if there's something you just really, really, really love to do and you don't feel like it's viable to do it as a job, I would say maybe reconsider it. And if AI is stealing your job, like figure out how to get better than AI or do another job. Because if the job is not that special, we can do something else. We can figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it the frick out.
What about everyone using AI for everything?
I mean, it's a tool and it's available and it's online and people are going to use it. Like,
but do you think it's good?
I don't know. I think it can be good and it can be bad.
You don't use it?
No, I don't use it. I don't like to use it.
Then you have an opinion.
I mean, I'm trying to be okay. Most of the things I say, I'm trying to be cautious of giving my opinion and not saying it's the right opinion.
Yeah.
Because I truly don't believe any of my opinions are the right opinions. I think they're just mine.
Yeah.
And with AI, I think personally for me, as someone who is a comedian who has to get up on stage and write jokes, and someone who has like very, very bad OCD, I don't think it's a good idea for me to have a communicative bot that I can ask endless questions to, because I've played with it a little bit and it feels dangerous to me. It feels like something I could get very addicted to, that I could be just like way too excited by. I've seen friends that are like so excited to use it as a therapist, and if it's working for you, great. But for me, not my cup of tea, I think. It's scary. It scares me a little because I've seen, like, again, I've done a little bit of it just to see it. Like I did one day where I kind of asked it some questions about like my health, and it's good. It's really good. It's collecting all of the data from the internet together and using that to give you advice. And then it's learning more about you the more that you talk to it, and using that to reflect back to you. Like what people are getting when they're talking to AI or Chat GPT is they're getting a mirror of exactly how they want to be talked to and communicated with, of exactly what they need. They're getting the best advice from all of the corners of the internet, all the specialists, all the articles. Like they're getting a roundup of everything that they're looking for, perfectly curated and fed back to them as if it's talking to them as a person, as if it's texting them. And I think it's a little scary because that's not how people, real people, even real therapists communicate. Real therapists are still real people. Real friends are still real people. Like I was looking at this account the other day that was talking about how hard adult friendships are sometimes, because, especially female friendships, because we don't leave room for fighting. We don't leave room for talking. Like romantic relationships is kind of expected that you'll fight, that you'll talk through things, that you'll go through stuff. But there's lots of times in friendship where it's not expected that you'll do that. Or there's lots of times in relationships with therapists or anyone, it's not expected that you'll talk through conflict. It's expected that you'll talk in a more kind of like loving and frivolous way and not address issues. But then there's so many of us that are so, like, personally, when I think of that, it makes me so sad, because I just hope that if any of my friends had any sort of issue with me, or they were feeling disconnected from me, or like there was something that was changing, that they could tell me that. But I realize why that would be a really daunting thing to do. Why it would be scary to tell someone that, because you don't know how they're going to react, and you don't know if you're overreacting and you feel like there's just so many complications with human dynamics, I guess is my point. And something like AI really simplifies all of it. It gives you kind of concrete and simple answers, and maybe not so simple answers, complex answers based on all of this information that it's gathering in the most kind of perfect way. But the problem with like perfect advice is that it kind of strips you of this ability to communicate, I think, normally with other people, because other people aren't perfect. And I think I've always found that if there is conflict in a relationship I have, if it's a relationship I love deeply and I believe in, it's always better having dealt with the conflict. Even if the conflict is dealt with in an imperfect way, even if I don't say the most perfect thing, the other person on the other side doesn't say the most perfect thing, the fact that we love each other enough that we want to work through it, I think is important. And I think if we use Chat GPT too much, then we're going to be given too perfect of an example of how things should be dealt with. And that way, when we take things into real life, when we talk to people, when we work things out, we're always going to be reflecting on what people said. We're going to be taking everything they said personally, and it's just always going to come off as a little bit subpar. But I don't think it's subpar. I don't think communication is supposed to be perfect. I think it's supposed to be allowed to be different and messy and based on the relationship. That's what makes it special. I think that's what makes it, interesting. And we have this really strong drive in our world to be perfect, to be like the perfect friend, the perfect partner, I've talked about this at length, but like the most beautiful, the most accomplished, the most loved, the most socially acceptable. Like we live in a world where there's so many measurements of how good you are. There's measurements online of how good you are. There's measurements based on your interactions with friends of how good you are, how much people trust you, how much people want to tell you, how many people you have in your life that you can count on. If you have romantic partnership, like there's so many measurements. And because of that, there's also so many ways to compare. There's so many ways where you can go, oh yeah, sure, I have a great loving relationship, but like I don't have this from this person, or I don't have this connection with this friend, or I don't have this, like in stand-up comedy, very easy to do as well. Like I haven't done this show in a while, or I don't feel good about this thing or this, like there's a million ways. And I'm sure, like I'm using stand-up comedy because it's an example I know well, but there's so many examples of this in any job, career, group of friends, family. Like there's just so many ways that we're now learning to measure ourselves up against each other. And I don't really think it's great for us. I think unconditional love of the people in your life has to be messy. It has to allow for complex emotions, for things that you don't feel good about. It has to allow for negativity and jealousy and inadequacy and insecurity, because as much as we don't want those things to be a part of our lives, they are. And it doesn't mean that it takes away from any of the positive or wonderful feelings that we have for other people. I actually think it deepens them. And the more that we understand those feelings, the more that we can just kind of go, oh, okay, that's why I feel that way. Or I don't actually feel that way towards that person, or they haven't actually wronged me in that way. This is something I'm dealing with. Like the more that we can kind of figure out the web of the way we feel, I think the better we are. But the more that we use things like AI or other people on Instagram or TikTok therapists to compare ourselves to the way things should be, the more we leave room for feeling like other people in our lives are inadequate, and the more we leave room for feeling like we are inadequate. And that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Having said that, I have some friends who talk to Chat GPT every single day and feel like it's their best friend therapist forever. And they're still amazing, wonderful people who are very giving and easygoing in their love and relationships. And so maybe Chat GPT helps you figure out conflict in some way. But my fears around it are that I feel like our world is already demanding a lot of perfection in every area of life. And it's really hard to live up to. And it's also demanding a lot of self-love and self-acceptance, but self-acceptance and self-love also comes with accepting the parts of yourself that you feel are a little less savory. And I don't mean like a classic traditional Pink song of like, don't worry, like you can be fun and weird. Like it's okay to be weird. Like I think we're past the point where it's like, it's okay to be weird. Like, yeah, everyone's fucking weird. Everyone has weird shit going on. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to have weird thoughts for sure. It's okay to like the colors black and pink and not just like pink and white. Like, it's deeper than that. But we all still have anger, rage, sadness, insecurity, jealousy. Like all of these are things that people will feel until the end of time. They're the full spectrum of human emotion. And if we don't leave room for them in some sense, in some capacity, and if we don't allow ourselves to acknowledge them in the messy ways that they show up, then I think we're just going to therapist talk ourselves into feeling very alone. And there is a very, very, very large amount of people right now that feel very alone. And so I don't know if Chat GPT is helping that. I think human connection is allowed to be not perfect. And I see this now more in my I don't know if this is new or not, but I see a lot of the times that I'm conversing with someone, I can tell like even if I'm talking about another experience, that person is relating it to themselves. Like I could be talking about my experience, like going to the grocery store with a friend and being like, no one's buying apples these days. Like me and my friend were not buying apples. And that person would be like, well, I bought apples. I bought apples last week.
I've been holding apples down.
Totally. So there's this idea of like when we talk to other people, if we're just vocalizing our opinion, that we should be very like aware of how that person is taking that information and relaying it back to themselves. And, maybe like, obviously I don't think you should go up to somebody who is, whose husband just died and be like, I'm just feeling really sad lately. 'Cause like my boyfriend got a cold and it's just making me realize his mortality. Like obviously have some fucking social awareness. Like if you're talking to somebody who's gone through something really hard and tragic, or is going through a difficult time, like I think being aware of what you're saying to them is very important. But I also think that talking to people and then having them immediately relate everything that you're saying back to an experience in their life is, I don't know, it's just something I'm noticing a little bit more. And I think is like a little, I don't know if it's not scary. It's just interesting.
I just did that to you with faking it.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. And it's not bad. Like it's not disturbing to me that you do that. But it's interesting because I feel like sometimes when I'm talking, if I feel really comfortable with someone, I'm just talking about kind of cerebral ideas. I'm not trying to target and pinpoint and like make someone feel bad. And maybe that's me needing to have more awareness about like what I'm saying and who I'm saying it to. But again, I think it's like there is a time and a place for what you're saying and who you're saying it to be very like aware of if someone's really going through something. But there's also, I think, gotta be room for people understanding each other, that they're who they're talking about or what they're talking about can be their own experience and not really have anything to do with you. Because if we're always relating it back to ourselves, I do it too. Like friends of mine will talk about something and I'll be like, oh my God, do I do that? I'm not immune from this either. I don't know if that's always been a thing or if that's just becoming more common lately, but I don't know if it's good. I guess I have to pee so
bad. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Cast GPT.
This was not funny at all.
This podcast like Chat GPT.
How so?
People should write in.
So true.
Write in your questions.
Instead of Chat GPT, use
Cast GPT.
Cast GPT. Yeah. Chat in. Tell me how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you
we'll scour the web, get back to you.
Yeah. We'll scour the web, we'll figure it out. But thank you all for listening. I appreciate all of you. I hope you're having a great summer so far. And
best summer ever.
Best summer ever. I know I am having the best summer ever.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to go to Sardinia.
Happy birthday, Riley.
Happy birthday, Riley.
Happy birth.
Happy birth to Kate's new baby. So exciting.
Cheers.
Yeah.
We have a show coming up.
We do?
Yeah.
September 28th.
It's time to start. 26th.
September 26th, Couples Counseling in Vancouver. Come check it out if you're in Vancouver. It's going to be very fun. I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. I hope you stay cool. Get that AC on if you have it. If not, wet each other's faces and blow in them for 3 hours, because that's the only way we're staying cool now in Vancouver, baby.
Like, subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Email in.
Yes, email in. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I love you, honeys. I'll see you soon.